Hey everyone, it's Timmy here. I am coming to you today with some tips about how to work with some of our larger transfers. So this is the largest transfer we have. It is what we call a size E. It retails for $39.99 and it's entirely one big piece. So you can do a couple things. You can cut it up if you want. And kind of, work around here and work a few pieces separately. That's one option. Or you can attempt to do it whole, but there's a couple things that I found that have worked well when I am working with a transfer of this size. First, we needed to fuzz it once we remove it from our backer sheet, but our fuzzing towel is not big enough. So we could either take two fuzzing towels and do that, or you can grab a bath towel, which is what I'm going to do. So I've got my bath towel here and ready to lay out. I also have my board. This is our Aiden board, the 18 by 24. So this is going to be perfect for this size E transfer. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this over. And the reason for that is instead of taking the backer sheet off of the transfer, or the transfer off of the backer sheet, I'm going to take the backer sheet off the transfer. Why am I doing that? Well, I just find that it has less capability of sticking to itself when I remove the backer sheet instead of the other way around. So that's my first tip. Remove the backer sheet from your transfer, not the transfer from the backer sheet. Then once you've done that, you can grab a corner, pull it up, make sure that you're not letting it stick to itself, and then lay it down on your fuzzing cloth, or in this case, our towel. So we didn't get it stuck to itself. That's key. That's one of the biggest problems or difficulties really with working with one of our large transfers is this, that it will stick to itself. So I'm just going to do it one more time here just to make sure it's nicely fuzzed. And that's it. So I'm going to pull it up. And now it should give me a little bit of play. Holding it from both one ends helps. It'll give me a little bit of play here to be able to lay this on my board and adjust it if I need to. So see, it kind of like, it's almost like throwing a sheet on your bed. And you can see it's taking up this whole board. Now the other thing that you want to make sure that you do is when you lie it down and you position it where you want it to go, just make sure that you get all the air bubbles out. That's the other thing that sometimes can get a little tricky with these big guys, is they get some air bubbles stuck in it. So see, I'm just using my hands initially to gently press down the screen onto the board, smoothing out any air underneath as I go. That's the air bubbles I was just talking about. And it's just really the areas where the screen is. We don't really have to worry about what's happening over there. And the way that I double check that, I just use this here, that there aren't any air bubbles, is I just run my squeegee, my big 4-inch handled squeegee, which absolutely you need when you're using one of our big transfers. I'm just running it over just to make sure there aren't any air bubbles. If there were, I'd hear this crinkling noise, almost like a snap, crackle, pop, like Rice Krispies does when you add milk. And I think we did a pretty good job. I don't hear any crinkles. So that is it. That is quick. Now, I'm going to use one color, so this is going to be really fast and easy. So make sure that your chalk paste is a good consistency. Give it a good stir. And sorry, I've lost all of my stir sticks. I was trying to get things a little better organized because I had crazy town going on here. Here we go. I think that the multi-tool is a great tool for stirring your chalk paste. It really is nice and firm. And then you can use it to dab paste all over the whole screen and spread it out ultimately with your big 4-inch handled squeegee. And I usually start at the top because I find that the handled squeegee is really going to pull this chalk paste, and it's going to last a lot longer than we think. So just grab some and pull the chalk paste across the screen. Now I'm doing it a little heavy. That's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to go back over this in a minute and get up the excess, just like we would if we were using a smaller squeegee. And since this really does make quick work out of spreading the chalk paste, we don't really need to do a chalk and pull method, but we do need a little bit more here for the bottom. So this is definitely a big screen. It's going to take a decent amount of chalk paste, so be liberal. You can always put what you don't need back into the jar, which we're definitely going to do. But this Never Stop Making Wishes was one that I have been dying for, and it's a remake of an earlier one that was out even before I became a designer. And I think it was one of the first things I might have seen on Pinterest and wanted, and it was retired by the time I started, so I couldn't get my hands on one. So this season we came out with this gorgeous Never Stop Making Wishes. Goes right along with how I feel about my business, my life, and really all of you. Never stop making wishes. Keep dreaming, keep reaching for your goals, and you will get there. All right, so that's it. I'm going to just close up this chalk paste here. Not going to dilly-dally too long. Just going to grab a top here. And like always, we want to gently pull, not from the corner, but right from the top. And look at how gorgeous this is. I am putting this right at my front door so that when people come in, they'll see it sitting on an easel and will enjoy. I'm just going to place this over here while we're finishing up. Sticky side up, just so they don't stick to itself. And then I'm going to take it into the bathtub and clean it up with water and one of our board erasers, and we are done. So that's it. You saw how fast it was. That's all it took to create this gorgeous, gorgeous design. Now, once we do clean this up, just like when I removed the transfer sheet from the transfer, we're also going to, when we put the transfer sheet back on, we're actually going to put it on sticky side up, right on the glossy side. And that will make it easier to line up and put back on the transfer sheet so that we can reuse this transfer over and over again. And my bet is it's going to be a big hit. We're going to be using it a lot. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.